Welcome to Colts Beer, the podcast where football fever meets cold beer. Here we talk all things Indianapolis Colts, from epic touchdowns to close games to the hottest NFL rumors. Sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and let's tackle the next quarter together. Go Colts!
Hello everybody, welcome back to Colts Beer. Already 7th episode, and Colts are 3-0. That's awesome. We all don't know how that feels.
It's been a while.
As you know, I'm Andreas. That's my beer of the day. Mike, probably you remember these cans?
Oh yeah, it's really good beer.
When I was with you in the US, that's the bottled version.
Ah, nice.
And yeah, today our guest is Mike Nestor from the US.
Hello.
Yeah, Mike, just introduce yourself.
My name is Mike Nastav. I'm friends with the two German clowns here. I've been a season ticket holder for the Colts since the 90s. Better times and worse times. So, been a Colts fan pretty much since I moved here from Baltimore. So when I was in high school. And my beverage of choice is coffee because it's still early here for me.
Great to meet you, Mike.
Good to meet you.
Today's beer for me, I got another pale ale. This is called Faith because I now have full faith in Daniel Jones. The faith that you couldn't be higher.
Yeah.
So cheers to 3-0 and cheers to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, hi Mike. My beer of the day is Gaffel Wies. It is a Cologne kind of beer. It is a combination of Kölsch and Oktoberfest beer. It is because they have a small version of Oktoberfest in the Cologne area started.
Right.
It is really good to drink.
Grolsch is good.
The doctor's giving you the go ahead to start drinking again, Christoph.
I would start drinking, but I'm afraid someone from work would see me.
So do you ask anyone if you're allowed, or you just, I'm fine?
I never ask permission. I ask forgiveness, right? You ask forgiveness, you don't ask permission.
So 3-0.
Yeah, I would say the same.
It's pretty weird. I mean, I'll just give you guys a feel for the vibe of Indianapolis right now. It's there's a lot of people giving the "I told you so"s, and everyone else is kind of shutting up, like me, who didn't think we'd be in this position and didn't think that Daniel Jones would make that big of a difference. So there's a lot of that going around, but there is definitely a lot of buzz in Indy right now. The games are the ticket prices are going up. Everything's getting the bus is rolling. One thing you're seeing a lot of, and you guys may see this stuff on Facebook too. I know you guys follow a lot of this stuff on Facebook in the same groups that I'm probably in, but there's a lot of the Indy Jones thing going on where they're taking the Indiana Jones stuff with AI and they're crossing it over to Jones and everything. And but there's a lot of comparisons, and then watching the Giants the past couple games and seeing what they're doing and stuff, and kind of looking, okay, maybe the problem wasn't the quarterback after all. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely a lot of steam behind that right now, that opinion.
Yeah, I saw. Imagine if you're the Giants and Saquon Barkley wins the Super Bowl last year and Daniel Jones wins the Super Bowl. It's bad time for the Giants, man.
Yeah, that's a GM problem for sure, I think. But yeah, it's kind of hard to explain that away, isn't it? Honestly, my opinion though is a lot of it. I'm always nervous when GMs underestimate the power of good offensive line, and I think that's a big driving force between the problem. The biggest problems they've had probably over the past 4 or 5 years is obviously going to be the offensive line, and this is kind of a litmus test for that. You can see when you take two of the talented pieces out of the equation, and they do better somewhere else. That what else is there left to blame? You've changed coaches. They've done a lot of manipulating of the team and drafted some really good receivers and everything else they've addressed really well. But it seems to be the O line is still kind of struggling, and you kind of see that a little bit what's going on this season so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
It reminds me or us when we talk about names like Dante Moncrief and stuff like that, but still they didn't have an O-line back then. We had the same issue. I think we had a lot of great or potentially great receivers, but no O-line.
I think we got a good O-line now. The time when we really, as far as in Indianapolis, when we've really experienced, I think the worst offensive line we could have ever had was when we had Andrew Luck, and Grigson was our GM. And the irony is that guy was actually offensive lineman at Purdue. I mean, he played the position. I think he was put in that position to protect our quarterback because he was historically could have been a Hall of Fame quarterback. But I just remember the ball snapping, and there was already people coming through the line, and that poor guy just got annihilated, game in and game out. So I honestly think that when Ballard got here, he actually created a pretty good offensive line. We had the number 1 or number 2 rated offensive line within 2 years after Grigson left. So I thought that was pretty miraculous. Obviously, it staged a little bit, so they're trying to put more younger players in and start to turn it over a little bit. But I still don't think it's a bad offensive line, and that's why I think Daniel Jones is enjoying a lot of success here, is because of the offensive line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Goncalves has really taken to it this year. I was a little bit concerned about Goncalves, but he's looked very good these first 3 games.
Yeah.
He's probably the biggest surprise in the whole team, actually.
I think so.
I mean, besides the quarterback position, but
definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who can start seeing, and a lot of people are surprised that our wide receivers are doing so good. I've always held that we've had pretty good wide receivers. That's not been the problem. We just haven't had anybody deliver the ball to them. So this is the first time we've actually had someone that can get them the ball, and it's kind of showing that they're creating separation and getting in the positions they need to get in. Changing the roles a little bit too is helping, but.
Yeah, and they've pretty much eliminated drops this year as well. I think we're down fourth lowest on the drop count here, which again, you could have put that down at quarterback play as well at the same time if everything's coming at you like a cannon.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It might be easier.
I think what they say, some of column A, some of column B, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but yeah, definitely. Plus, they're also getting older too. They're getting more mature and getting more experience. I think is helping. They're a pretty young group. A couple of years ago, so.
Yeah, I really like that mixture of our receiver group. I mean, I said before, I like it that we don't have that pure number 1 receiver. We have basically like 4 number 2s.
That's your opinion. I still think 11's the number 1, but yeah.
What I want to say, opponent teams have to take care of all of them.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh yes, it's just their 4th receiver, just let him run or something like that.
Yeah.
You really have to figure out what to do with all our receivers. That was the point I wanted to go to.
Definitely.
And that I really like that.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of it too is, and I know you're kind of down on number 11, and I'm kind of pro number 11, but just to say, he does draw a lot of the double teams. When you get someone that's going to get those double teams play in and play out, it gives you a little more freedom with the rest of the receiving core, I think. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a really good tight end.
Yeah.
For me, Pittman's like a 1.5. Like he's that kind of like Mike Evans style. So it's like you need what we now have in Pierce. You need someone who can take the top off.
I've always held steadfast that he's a deep threat. And people are always critical about that, saying, "Oh, I see a very one-way player." Then I'm like, "Well, so was Moss." I mean, there's some really great one-way players that are receivers that just did a great job down the field. So that's part of it.
Yeah, spreading it around this year as well, right? Like, everyone's eating at the moment. I think the only one that surprised me most is Josh Downs has probably not had as many catches as I thought he would.
Yeah. And Mitchell's had ups and downs a little bit. I was kind of hoping he would grow a little faster, but yeah, I think maybe he's got a chance to catch his breath, and hopefully that'll change.
Yeah, we might find out on Sunday if. I guess Pierce probably isn't going to clear concussion.
Concussion protocol. So we're going to see.
Yeah, I think from AD we all expected a little bit more this season. But yeah, it is, and he will grow. He's still super young.
Yeah, such a good route runner. Like he's open, like he gets open. It's just I don't know. The ball's just not getting there. I mean, he's looked better this year. Obviously, the ball's come a bit more. Sunday he had the deep pass interference, didn't he? You can put him down for 40-30 yards there, can't you? So
yeah, that helps.
Definitely improvement from him this year, and Also, he's had a couple of catches where he hasn't just like bailed out on it. Like he's actually gone, contested it once.
Yeah, he's have to go after the ball.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was surprised in Alec Pierce having such a big role in the game plan on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it, and that's what Sam just said. They spread it around a lot, and it fits with that what I said before. You can take every week. You can pick your as a coach. You can always pick your new number one target for the game, and it still makes not a big difference to the others. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think having the depth at wide receiver like we do is you're gonna have the defenders pick their poison. Whether it's cover 2 or whether they're playing man or whatever, our zone. They're gonna have to pick their poison. So just exploiting that. And I think Daniel Jones having the experience he does to identify that coverage is going to be huge too.
Yeah, that looks like the biggest difference so far with him and AR is that it's all the pre-snap stuff. Like he knows what's coming and like he knows where he's going before the ball snap. Like he just looks at control. Yeah. And I mean, like we said at the start, some of that goes down to offensive line. Like he's not running for his life, so his head's not scrambled. Like he's in, in the zone.
I'm Batman.
Yeah. I think there was he had that play. I think it ended up. I don't know what it was, about 12-yard run, I guess. The scramble on Sunday where he also showed that he can when the pocket collapses, he can get out there. So
yeah, that was I would say that would be the biggest surprise about him, but it's just to me another surprise about him. It's just another like a cherry on the sundae, right? I mean, it's just something else. It's like, okay, there's another dimension to his game that I didn't see him doing in New York, but it kind of makes sense. Maybe he was running for his life a lot out there, so he developed speed.
What do you make of the defense on Sunday?
I like the way the defense is coming along. I mean, I was not a Gus Bradley fan. I kind of make that pretty much known to everybody that knows me. I don't mind the guy, but he just to me, quintessential, I guess, opinion I developed on Gus Bradley was around when we played. I don't know if you guys remember we played at the Bengals a couple years ago, and their starting quarterback was out, and they had, I think it was the guy that's playing a backup quarterback now was Brown, was the quarterback, and he just tore us apart, and it was so much predicated on 3rd and long situations because they kept getting in 3rd and long, and we had no blitz package for them whatsoever. We'd let this rookie sit back there and just tear us apart, and it really showed. And to me, you've got to have not only be able to scheme your blitzes up, but scheme your fake blitzes up, and that was just kind of something we were very short of. People say, well, we did these games we blitz more, these games we blitz less. And that may be the truth, but when your blitz is ineffective, you're not going to have a good fake blitz scheme either. And by not doing that, especially with the younger rookie quarterbacks we faced that season, it was just you were just giving them too much time and making them look like Pro Bowl quarterbacks every time we came out. And everyone was critical of our cornerbacks as well, which maybe some of it was justified, but a lot of it was, if you look how long the plays took to develop, you can't let plays go on that long. You've got to get pressure on the quarterback, be it by a blitz or getting better talented defensive end or some way, to get pressure on the quarterback. And with Gus Bradley, we just never saw it. And to have the change that we've seen in the defense in the past couple games, I think is kind of a testament to that a little bit. He's blitzing a lot more. We're getting to the quarterback a lot more. It's definitely not perfect, but you definitely see the difference. I'm excited for it.
Like you said, it's the disguises as well that he brings. The quarterbacks know what they're seeing pre-snap. I think. Yep. I mean, Tua had absolutely no idea what was happening.
No. No. Even after the game, I don't think he knew what was happening. Yeah, it was exciting. I mean, there was just so much pressure, and that was pretty much like the guy that we got. I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that we got from Miami was very critical of that. He said, once you get pressure on him, he's gonna fold like a suit.
Yeah.
Suit. So it was just. Yeah, I think it was illustrated. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the defense. I really am.
And I mean, Buckner and Grover had a massive game on Sunday. They were just everywhere.
Grover was just a menace. I mean, I don't know if it was a bad matchup on the defensive line or what, but it just seemed like he always had a hand in there. You'd see him getting ready to anytime there was a run play or a pass play, it seemed like he was involved, which was really exciting for him.
Playing missing seasons of film. It wasn't just Sunday. I loved it in the first 2 games too. So yeah, that was great.
Even Gallimore got himself a sack on Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. Everyone's chipping in. That's what you like to see that too. You like to see more, contributions from all over. So that way it creates the same problem we have with receivers. They don't know where the pressure is going to come from on our defense. It's hard for them to come up with the proper blocking scheme.
Mhm. Maybe we just now need an inside linebacker, and maybe that defense.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that'd be a little more speed too at the position. But yeah,
and maybe that's what we get with Carles if he comes back from.
Yeah. There's a lot of ifs with some of the younger players.
Yeah.
Not only a linebacker position, a couple positions, though, for sure. Yeah. We'll see. It's gonna be a great season, I think, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, we are all here not that much fans of our linebacker core.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So far, we are kind of Franklin is the one-eyed between the blinds.
I still think he's having good games, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Butchie's looked okay. Like, he looked okay Sunday.
Yeah.
I didn't think
it passed.
There was one play action, I think, where he bit real hard, and I think they're tight end 15, 20 yards up the cap. But.
Yeah, there was that. And there just was some missed tackles too. Yeah, there was. I mean, we still got issues. And we were not playing a stellar offense on Sunday, so it's kind of anything you saw this Sunday, especially in the first half, I think would have been, things we need to be concerned with. Because no one was out on the field. They did a lot of substituting things, especially in the second half. So no one was out on the field too long, so you can't think that people are winded or being overused or it's legitimate issues I think we need to look at. But I don't think it's going to be anything earth shattering. Just because of the raw fact that our offense can make these long drives, keep the time of possession in our favor, and eat up the clock and just score such a high percentage of the time we go downfield. You just keep scoring and scoring and scoring, be it field goals or touchdowns. I think it's going to put a lot of pressure and make their offenses be a little more one-dimensional as far as they have to throw the ball as the game time wears out.
Yeah, because even last year when AR was playing well and we had good drives, they were lasting like 3 minutes. Like they were like 5-play drives, 75 yards.
Big plays.
The defense is like, oh no, we go again. It's like, I know we've got 7, but we're playing we're playing what 66% of the game. I think they were last season. It was maybe like 40-20 split.
Yeah. I think plus with our run game coming along as successfully it has been, which I think is also attributed to our good quarterback play because it creates a balance. But with our running game coming along so well, it's gonna help us get those slow, methodical drives that we need to eat up the clock. So,
and Tyler Warren out at fullback. I
know a tight end for a fullback, right? And it worked. He got some good blocks.
That long JT run. I mean, the block he's through there. Right?
He just stuck that guy outside, and JT saw it and ran under him. I was like, all right, that was his first 3 steps.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I like to see that they're using different players for different things like that. That's always fun to watch too. I think as a fan.
Yeah, I think definitely with Warren. I mean, they're showing you kind of everything you get with him and why we needed that sort of.
Absolutely.
He's not Mo Cox. He's not that kind of blocker, but he.
No. I mean, you typically you got your regular tight ends, your run of the mill average tight ends in the league are going to have one strength. They'll be a liability at blocking, or they're going to be a liability with their hands. So you got to be careful when you use them, and it also kind of tells your game plan when you put them out there. So having someone balanced like that's going to keep their linebackers on their heels for sure.
Definitely.
Christoph, you're pretty quiet, buddy.
Yeah, I'm listening to
You're usually arguing with me by now really, really hard.
Long days after my sugar rate.
There you go. Tired of working on the house and recuperating your shoulder.
Yeah, I hope maybe in 6 months I'm ready with it.
Yeah, the older we get, man, the harder it is.
Yeah.
Longer it takes to heal.
So that long JT one on the weekend, I was really happy they didn't throw a flag on Pittman in the last second. He completely useless pushed that defender.
He didn't push. His hands were on him now. I saw the play. I don't know that there was a push because his body didn't react like it was a push, right? If the guy didn't know he was getting pushed, do you think he would have shown a little reaction?
Yeah, to be
That's what I
fair,
mean.
yeah,
You can't really complain if they throw a flag there. So
No, because he put his hands where he put his hands on the guy's back.
Yeah.
But it's to usually, I mean, most of the officials are going to let him play through that. Not all of them. You're right. They'll be ticky tack penalties plus makeup penalties. They use those as opportunities for makeup penalties if they think they made a wrong call against another team. So, but yeah. I still like him getting aggressive though. I mean, a lot of these screenplays we're running and things like that that we're setting up a lot of the times predicate themselves on good blocking by our receivers, and I think our receivers have actually overall have done a decent job at blocking.
Yeah, Pittman's a great. I mean, Pittman just loves contact, doesn't he? Block it.
He is not afraid of anything.
He is a tight end body.
Yeah.
I think there was a play in the second half where it looked like he was going out to the sideline, and all of their defenders just completely quit on it. And he just turned it straight up.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah, it's and that's punishment. So yeah, because he put his head down on that one play. He's running on the right sideline. You can just see him put his head down and bear his shoulder out, and that guy did not want to make the tackle. But he ran right into his chest, so he had to.
He's the opposite of T.Y. Hilton. I always I love T.Y. Hilton, but I always remembered he was the first guy at the sideline. He's like, get me to that sideline.
Yep. But he played a lot of games, so it's just what you're gonna get. Different styles.
Yeah.
As long as they're having fun, I think they play better. So it's like let them play.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pittman came out and said that the Titans defenders didn't look like they weren't up for it at all. So I think
it was the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken, too. It was later in the game, and you can tell they were getting a little winded too. So yeah, they didn't want anything to do with them, which means they probably tackled him another time, and it kind of stuck in their head that this contact. This is not a skinny post running, a slot receiver we're facing here. An Austin Collie or something.
Oh man.
He says slots get to the opposite side of the ball or slot corner. Kenny Moore. How do you feel about that injury?
It's not a good time for it because we've already had so many quarterback problems, and we're kind of deep at that position, but we're stretching it now. So it's like we got to get the guys healthy. We're going to need it, especially if you look at some of the games coming up on our schedule where we've got some quarterbacks going to be facing this year.
Yeah,
starting in California, they like to throw the ball.
Yeah, and I mean Puka Nacua, probably the best slot receiver in the NFL. Yeah. It's not the best time to lose Kenny Moore.
No, he's got such good ball awareness. He's a really good back, but he's to me his skill is just that ball awareness. He's just like a ball hawk. He just figures out where it's going, has his timing down. It was such a quintessential good first play of the game because there's a lot of people chattering about is Kenny Moore going to handle this? Is we going to have problems? And no, he answered that question on the first play of the game. It's like okay.
Well, yeah, you saw you see the replay. You see that his first move was to go cover him, but he saw that Cam Ward and he
was leaning that way.
He held back until he threw that. He knew that was coming.
Perfect timing, man. Just set up the rookie. That's how you play rookies, right? So he set him up.
Yeah. I mean, I said to the guys, we need to have Kenny Moore's family at every game.
Yeah, they were there. He gave him the ball, right? Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly. He's pick sixes whenever his family are there.
We'll fly him. I'll chip in for sure, man. I'll drive him.
Panthers game that his sisters came to last season, where he had the 2 pick sixes. They're invited to every game.
Yeah. You're going to play like that in front of the family. Get the family over there. That's a Ballard job. John Ballard can do that.
Ballard is a good question. Mike, you think his job is now safe? Because in the German groups, I think the most guys are hating him still.
Yeah, it's like
because it is Tyler Warren, the only piece. The rest is his problem. So
I don't know, man. He drafted just about everybody on the team, but okay, including signing our quarterback. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I only tell you what is the German.
It's here too. It's here
thinking
too.
About him.
It's to me, it's people that are impatient. They can never give me a solid reason for the hate, other than they're blaming all the and really, I mean, the GM is the last to answer the call. Although there was, I don't know if you guys heard locally about some of the stuff that happened, but a lot of the things where we were drafting a quarterback and putting the quarterback out into playing all that time was Irsay saying we're gonna start AR and we're gonna just, putting his foot down and saying this is what we're gonna do. You didn't hear it from Ballard. He never made a comment like that, but then it came out in the press that there was he was being told what to do. He had marching orders on what he was going to do, and it's the owner of the team. He wasn't. I loved Irsay, but he did feel strongly about some things. Not nearly as bad as some of the other owners like Al Davis and some of the ones we've experienced in the NFL. At all, I think he was just a great owner. But I just wanted to say in Ballard's defense that he was told to do a lot of things he did. And it is what it is. But here in Indianapolis, it's the same thing. There's still a large group of people that are totally anti-Ballard at all costs, blaming all the program. And then you ask them why, and a lot of them are just like they can't give you solid reasons a lot of the times.
I think a big problem is you have contact to the franchise over the Blue Crew, so Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan are all quarterbacks of Frank Reich, and he calls with Irsay.
Wentz was the big one.
So in Germany, the old guys say, "Hey, that was Ballard." So
but that makes sense for the Germans to feel it because the buck stops at the GM, right? I mean, he is the manager. That's his title. So there's no problem in holding him accountable, and he'll say the same thing. So I don't disagree with it. I disagree with people when they say that he misses on the draft so much. I think he does a pretty good job in the draft. That to me is a strength. If you want to criticize something, criticize his free agents. But when people say draft's bad, that to me is kind of like, well, it's the one thing he's done well.
Was perfect.
Yeah.
I think it
doesn't happen all the time though. It's definitely not a strength.
Over the last eight free agencies, you can't say that about every free agent signing. Because there wasn't any.
There was nothing to judge it on. He leaned in, but he does lean into what his strength is, and it's drafting, getting someone. I mean, we watched Okereke or whatever, Bobby Okereke or whatever with the Giants, and you're looking at that guy, and you're looking at, he's still viable. We've got a lot of players out in the NFL that are still being used that we've had to cut loose, that we've drafted, and they're still playing football, which to me says something. But
look, the defensive tackle of Las Vegas. We drafted last year. We cutted him to the practice squad, and Las Vegas picked him away. So now he's a really good player there.
Yep. He's getting the job done.
We have some good ideas, and then the coach are saying, maybe.
Yep.
I think JTT is the same thing. The whole time JTT is on the bench, maybe a couple of small snaps.
Yeah.
But I think he has a great future. So all what I have read on him and look the stats of the college, he will be developed up, and then he will a really, really nice edge for us. Or maybe defensive tackle if he changes the position.
He's kind of like he's a good fit for Anarumo as well, like physically. JT.
That makes a difference too. There's a lot of reasons, a lot of boxes to check. So
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised the way that Ebukam started the season. I wouldn't be surprised if he started to maybe get some time over Ebukam. I think Tyquan Lewis does a good job at what he is in there for. You
can't complain about him, but you can definitely see the position being stronger. And versatile. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Multi-dimensional.
But I mean, another Ballard draft pick, Nick Cross, is looking phenomenal this season.
I know he was looking really good last year. It was like he was quietly looking good. You're not going to hear his name on SportsCenter. You're not going to hear anybody talk about him. Even the local writers really didn't address anything. But you look at what he was doing on the field. If you watch the games, there's a lot to be said. Sam, I'm not sure if you've been to any games in person, but you see a lot more right at the field than. You know what I mean? You see what happens outside of the play, which to me, especially when it comes to defenders, how they're keeping up with their man, how their coverage looks, because you see the quarterback looking off guys, you don't know why. But if you actually at the game, you can actually see who's covered, who's not covered, and it's not on camera because they're following the ball. So there's a lot to say for that, and you see that a lot with Nick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really solid this year.
Yep.
Usually the beast cornerbacks have pretty bad numbers on the field because they just didn't get targeted.
But you're right. He's out there. I mean, when your plays are lasting almost a minute.
Yeah.
He's running around with a guy. There's only so long you can cover a guy. So yeah, we were asking a lot of our cornerbacks in the past, I think, and I think that's one reason I'm really excited about this defense, man. I cannot wait. I love aggressive defensive play. And I mean, there's a time to be conservative. There always is, when you've got control of the game. But I think doing it all game long, you've got to take chances. You've got to take risks. Sometimes you're going to get burned. But if you give up a big play, 2 or 3 big plays a game, and that's all you give up, then it's definitely worth it.
I think Mooney Ward looks the real deal, right?
I think so. I agree.
It looks like
he's athletic.
Mm-hmm.
That tells a lot.
I think there's something in Blackman as well. I think he's got something. Xavier Howard, it's hard to tell right now. Obviously,
Howard's not enough time. Yeah, I'd like to see Howard go farther, but I think what we got in Blackman is evident. I mean, he's never going to be a superstar, but he's also he's the way he plays is very consistent and reliable. So I think that he'll always have a role, especially with depth. I don't think he's also costing us as much as he did when we first brought him here. I believe from Minnesota. So that makes a big deal too with your cap room and everything. Having someone that's reliable to create depth that doesn't cost you a lot of money, it's got experience is always nice to have in your defensive backfield.
Yeah, and I mean with our defensive back injuries over the last
depth is huge. Yep. It seems like for the Indianapolis too, more than other teams, that's been one of our toughest positions to keep healthy over the years. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
We had so many big injuries on defensive backs, but I can't, probably nobody can explain why, because it's probably just bad luck. But yeah, it's really bad.
Yep. It's bad luck. A lot of it. I mean, people are all blaming the trainers, and that's usually what happens when you suffer a lot of injuries. They look at how they're training and how they're prepping and what they're eating and just all these different things. Maybe there's got to be something in common, but at some point it's just luck. I think just bad luck. I mean, there's styles of play that do impact. I mean, you guys. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Bob Sanders. But he would just leave it. It was his style. It was just he would go out and leave it on the field. But playing that way, costed him his career eventually. But also, for his time he was playing, he was dynamite. So, I mean, I guess it's a balance of what do you want? Do you want a long career where you're making the money and you're not performing as strongly, or you want to leave people with memories and highlight films that look really good, and leave your mark on the league.
Bob Sanders he's got to be Ring of Honor at some point, surely.
Yeah,
right?
I totally agree, man. I mean, that guy gave it everything. He had neck compression issues and he's like the Bionic Man. I mean, he always every part of his body got broken, I think, but it didn't stop him. His last couple of games, he was just laying out against these big running backs. I mean, just and they corner blitzed him and safety blitzed him all the time. So it was he was just a maniac. It was fun to watch. But yeah, they're different playing styles too. I mean, a lot of people will try to make their careers last longer, and it is smarter in general. But it's just whatever your playing style is. You got to have fun when you're on the field. If you're not having fun playing football, then you're not going to be good at it.
I mean, 21 was about as fun as you could see to watch.
Yeah, on the football. Yeah, he was into it. It was just every play people were high fiving him and stuff. He got the defense pumped up too. I mean, the impact that had on our defense. Gary Brackett and everybody. I just remember how pumped up they would get. When he would make a big play. Yeah, it made them confident too, that they could count on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the other hand, we had a few years ago drafted a used to be superstar on free safety, Malik Hooker.
Yeah,
he was not a
played against him Sunday.
Yeah,
another hooker.
Injuries
tore him up. Yeah.
I still can remember this one interception he did in the end zone when he came out of nowhere with one hand and just grabbed the missile out of
big
the
hands.
Yeah.
Long arms. He had really long arms too for his size. Yeah, he had really long arms.
Is he Cowboys now? Malik Hooker? Is that what he is?
He was.
I think so.
I think it was Cowboys.
I know he went. I don't know if he's still.
He's been on it's like his fourth team since Indianapolis, or third team since Indianapolis, I think.
Let me check where he's now.
I remember he was trying to. I thought that the Cleveland, because wasn't he Ohio State? I think it was Ohio State, and I think that Cleveland was interested in him because of that at one point, but I don't think it worked out where he actually ended up in Cleveland.
Yeah,
How
Cowboys.
different is everyone that we saw?
Dallas.
Oh, he's Dallas, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys as disappointed as me that we saw Rigo on Sunday? He had to use his foot and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were all the same mad as Shane Station was.
Yeah.
You saw
Yep.
the presser. So
Yeah.
like, I was kind of mad.
Yeah.
Great punt though. It was a good one.
It was a great punt. Yep. Yeah. Finally got our kicker in the game.
I mean, Sanchez is one of the best punters in the league, I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm still happy not seeing him.
Nope,
often.
that's the guy you don't want to see. I mean, he knows that. I met it. We had field passes to an Oakland game. Like it was the last season in Oakland, and I think it was his second year in the league, maybe his first year. But we were on the sideline and stuff, just before the game started, and his mom and his sister and everyone, his family was there, and he was just kind of standing next to me. And I wasn't real familiar with him, but was talking for 5 minutes, and just a great guy. He's really nice, real likable, and he's got a lot of energy. So that's always, to me, positive attitude and a lot of energy.
I'm kind of there's a little part of me that's kind of glad that Schrader missed one so that we didn't have to hear the commentators.
Yeah, no doubt.
Every single time he kicked. He's not missed one in his career.
Yep.
He got the miss out of the way. It wasn't.
Yep.
It wasn't.
No, none of this. Yeah, none of this. Let's see what he does and put pressure on him. Just go play football.
Yeah.
It's not, to me. It's not. Kicking stats they're good, and you can definitely see how kickers can be a liability. And it's nice to have them consistent. But sometimes we're having these guys kick some of these balls that are just phenomenally long distance. And again, you guys, I'm not sure I'm familiar. When you get farther away, that changes the angle of incline. So now you're relying on your special teams, wall to block those guys out more and more because the ball is coming out with a lower trajectory for those longer kicks. So you rely more on not just the kicker, but also the rest of the team. And sometimes that could be a problem too. And I think that kind of adds to someone's stats column a little bit in a negative way. And you see, I don't know how many blocks we saw this Sunday, but there was a lot. And I think most of the blocks were from, the longer distances anyway, because you don't get that angle of inclination when you're farther back like that. So,
yeah, I mean, even our game, Grover with a block, I think that was 6.
Yeah, Grover had a good block. Yeah, and it just adds to it. So I'm glad. I totally agree with you. I'm just like get that off the stat book right now and just go out there and keep kicking.
It wasn't the same winning field goal that he missed or anything like that. It was just it was in the second quarter. I was like, that's fine. Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a game changer by any means. So, yeah, I was okay with it.
One of the biggest blocks this weekend was probably at the Rams game.
Yeah.
So let's jump to the Rams a bit. What are you going to expect for a game on Sunday?
You know what? Of the 3 games they played already, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, because it seems like they're playing to other teams' level a little bit. Because you see the potential in their offense. They have bright points in their offense with Stafford and everything, but it's just not consistent, in my opinion. But I don't know. I guess I don't know what Rams team we're going to see. Plus, it's always hard to travel to the West Coast. It's a long trip, and to get settled in out there is a little bit difficult. But I think we faced a better offense in Denver, my opinion. But I think that they're going to be a more balanced team. I think Denver's defense was also a little bit exaggerated. If you're looking at the way they're playing their games now, they're giving up a fair amount of points in some of the games they're playing. So, I think the Denver victory is the one that we could stick our flag in the ground for. But I don't know. This could be a really hard game. Could be a trap game for us. They could be reeling because of their underperformance, or they feel they're underperforming. So, and a lot of our Bruker guys are going out there. I'm supposed to go out there. But I just couldn't get away with work and everything. So, but we're going to have a contingency of Blue Crew guys out there for the game. Brent and them are all going. So,
yeah. I'm kind of surprised about the schedule. Playing in LA this week, and I think in 2 weeks again.
Yeah,
that's kind of dumb. At least make them in a row. So.
We're not getting the choice schedule as usual, so it's fine. We don't like respect. We like to be disrespected. It's better. Us and the Pacers and the Colts, always disrespected. We're fine with it.
Yeah, for me, Sunday. I mean, their D line's good. They got a good D line. Secondary, wasn't. I'm not being particularly.
No, I don't think that. I think we're going to give them a problem with coverage as long as we can pick up the blitzes too. They do have some blitzes that would look pretty good. So
I think game plan will be kind of similar. Like, throw it early, throw it often, and I think second half is when you'll see JT start to
start to heat up. You're going to be a little bit running as long as they keep them running a little bit in the first to keep their linebackers honest.
Yeah.
And keep them out of the blitzes. Too many blitzes. Then that'll be helpful. Plus, I think we're going to throw a lot of screens this week. I don't know why. I just feel like when they over pursue a little bit, then that's going to give us an opportunity for screen passes and edge passes and things like that. So
that's what we do really perfectly this season, making the easy plays.
Yeah.
And if they give it to us, I'm fine with it. If they make us having all these checkdowns, rollouts, easy 10-yard passes, let's do it. It's not exciting to watch, but it's winning football at the end.
I remember people criticizing Peyton because of that. They would say, well, this dinking and dunking. That's when the word dinking and dunking became a phrase in Indianapolis. Is, hey, dinking and dunking. And I'm just like, what? He's taking what the defense is going to give him. If they're going to give him underneath all day long, high percentage, just again, and you're killing the time of possession. Mm-hmm. You're controlling the ball. Their team's not scoring, so it's giving your defense a good rest. So take what they're going to give you for free.
Yeah, exactly. 3 games, no turnovers.
That's amazing.
Exactly.
That to me is one of the biggest stats right there. If you looked at, again, he was trying to make things happen probably too hard in New York, but there was a lot more turnovers and stuff. So
yeah, just decision making. I mean, even the early throw to Alec Pierce stepped up in the pocket, and it just looked like it was just right. Yeah, I feel like Sunday offensively, I think there's going to be quite a few points scored. I think
you're right.
Pretty similar.
And honestly, I kind of hope there is, because I'd rather have that kind of a game for us than have their defense step up and disrupt our offense. So I'd rather take the offensive game. I think it'd be more beneficial to us. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll take it, especially with the injury now that we have on our cornerbacks.
Yeah. I mean, last season, obviously you touched on Bradley, Mike, already, but. Yep. Stafford would be my worst nightmare quarterback for a Gus Bradley defense. It would just be carnage.
He'd give him all day, and he's got the experience and the arm to find him over. Yep.
It would have been something like an 85% completion. Like he just wouldn't. It'd be one of them where he starts off like 12 passes, 12 completions in a row, sort of thing. I think
totally agree.
We're going to mix that up. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more pass rush this Sunday. I think we did.
I would.
Week one, the game plan was great. Like, just keep to take away Tua's first read, so it wasn't.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it was a lot less depth on his side. Stafford's going to have, he looks off receivers really well. So, and he also creates separation by looking off the wrong receiver and stuff. So he's really good. He's not as agile as he was, and his arm isn't as great as it was, but his brain is fine. So those kind of things are going to make it a little tough on us. But if we get pressure on him, that's the best thing we can do. I agree.
Definitely.
You think for me, Matt Stafford, if I have to choose a quarterback outside of the Colts I like the most in the NFL, I think it's actually Matt Stafford over his whole career. He's just an awesome guy. So wish him
he's
all
consistent. He's consistent. He never has the highest scoring games and never the highest numbers, especially for fantasy and things like that. But he's always consistent. Every week he'll put up numbers, and he'll always be a threat. So can't argue with that.
Yeah, he always had a little bit of like him and Andrew Luck. There was some similarities there. I think Andrew Luck was more talented, but like their style of play.
I think they had the same approach to the game. They both worked hard, and they both spent many extra hours watching film and preparing for the game the same way. So,
I mean, that sounds like what we've got in Danny Dimes as well. From everything you read, it sounds like.
They're talking about it. They're asking Steichen about him. He's like, oh yeah, we're on the phone sometimes on Friday nights and Saturdays after we break apart practice. We're going home. He'll call me, and he just loves football, and that to me is the key. I mean, that's a big key. The fact that he's always thinking about it and always loving to think about it, and I think it makes it more exciting, and I think that's why Steichen and him are going to get along really well.
I think that's as a teammate as well, that's what you want, right? I mean,
absolutely.
you even see Saquon. Saquon said it. Well, I think it was this week, right? I think he had an interview where he's like, of any player that he's ever played with, the guy that he wants to succeed the most is Daniel Jones outside of him.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I was very critical. I'm like, why would a team, if this guy's going to be, because we're kind of used a lot of rehashed quarterbacks, retreaded quarterbacks. So after a while, you get kind of jaded about it. But you always think about it. You're like, why would a team let somebody that's that good go? I mean, you don't see like Peyton Manning's popping up in other cities and things like that. That rarely happens. Or Tom Brady's, and it does happen. But it's so even with the no-name quarterbacks, to have them come to one city after they're in one city and be successful is a long shot. And so I'm just playing the numbers, saying this is probably just. I kept telling everybody if we're starting Daniel Jones, then we're just getting ready for the draft, and that's pretty much us kind of throwing the towel in. And so I'm the first to admit I was wrong.
I'll hold my hand up.
Yeah, I mean I was way wrong. I'm glad to be wrong.
Andreas isn't sure that we're wrong yet, though, are you, Andreas?
Mike, you may don't know. I'm probably the only Colts fan who is not totally sold on Daniel Jones, actually.
No.
I like what I see. Fine. It's cool. I like to see winning football on Sundays. But I'm still not like we said. Well, when they benched Anthony Richardson, we said like, okay, what's the future with Daniel Jones? What can he bring us? Can he bring us a Super Bowl in the next 10 years? I don't know if the answer is yes or no, but probably for me it's still no. And then we still have this raw talent sitting on the bench. We will never figure out if he is it when he's just sitting on the bench. And so I like what I see. I have to admit he's playing much better than I expected him to play. But I don't see the future franchise quarterback Daniel Jones for the Indianapolis Colts.
He's younger than most retreads we've had. Given that, however, and quarterbacks these days can play a long time. The upside to him, I mean, the ceiling for me to him would be like, and again, this may be a little bit. I keep forgetting how old I am. It could be like Jim Harbaugh, where we brought Harbaugh in from Chicago, and Harbaugh was not throwing the ball 50 yards downfield and getting us into, because we call him Captain Comeback, but he wasn't doing it because he had these physical skill set and ability to do these things, because he was successful because he was like a coach on the field. He could read the defense. He could know, and he get him dinking and dunking, whatever you want to call it. He knew when to audible in and audible out. It's all a lot of the up here stuff and the wisdom. I know I'm using the word wisdom because I'm old, but it could be. It's a lot of it's the experience in that position, and I'm hoping we get that out of him. At the same time, I do think we're pulling like, and I used like to compare us to other players, but I like to think that we're doing kind of a Steve McNair a little bit now with AR, backing off, letting him get used to the league, and bringing him in when he's ready. So that could still be, the future. I think we have both options available to us. So, I think as long as Daniel Jones is getting the job done, they're not going to pull him out. But at the same time, if he starts to show his age and starts to make bad decisions, then or someone figures out a way to beat him. Maybe later in the season, people are like, okay, there's a way to beat him, and that happens. When a quarterback goes to a new team, you got to get a whole new set of film on them because it's a whole different game style. So maybe we hit a wall eventually, and you could be right. But I think he's going to continue to get wiser about the game, and he's already showing that he understands the game by being able to throw the ball around, mix it up, and his audibles and a lot of the different things he's doing, that it kind of shows me that he knows, he knows the game, which is a big part of the older quarterbacks pluses, is to have them know the game better than the younger quarterbacks, and they have the experience to kind of be a coach on the field a little bit. But we'll see who's right. I have no argument with the argument you're making, because he's lost more than he's won. It's his career. So how much of that is due to a bad offensive line in New York Giants? How much is that due to people who were able to get film on him and the system he's in and understand how to beat him? But I guess we'll find out.
I'm still happy when I walk around arm in arm with you at the Indianapolis Super Bowl party and saying, everyone, I was totally wrong.
Yep. I'm the first to admit it now, but yeah, we don't know how far it can go.
No.
It's 3 games. It's 3 games.
I think
No,
I would,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
for Andreas' question, can Daniel Jones bring us a Super Bowl in the next 10 years? I guess I would frame it differently now as to whether I think Shane Steichen can bring us a Super Bowl in the next 10 years with a quarterback that plays his system.
Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, the play calling's got to be there for sure, because he's going to have, as the older he gets, the more his limitations are going to kick in.
Yeah.
So you have to have a game plan it's playing to your strengths. And for us, our strengths is the depth. You know, we got a great tight end, we got a good running back, and we have a decent offensive line. But as those things go away, and as when Daniel Jones's physical abilities deteriorate, which are going to, I don't care who it is, or even Brady's started to show. So it'll happen with age, and when it starts to get there, then what are we left with? And that would be, my biggest concern for winning the Super Bowl in the future. But I go back to Jim Harbaugh again. I mean, we got so close to a Super Bowl with him. And you see these older quarterbacks getting to a Super Bowl here and there. I mean, Stafford got to the Super Bowl. He wasn't that older, obviously, but when Stafford went to his second team, he got him to a Super Bowl. So I'm not saying that Daniel Jones isn't Matthew Stafford by any means, but you don't know what you're going to get. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Peyton in Denver, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, and the funny thing about Peyton was, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but his good seasons when he's putting up solid numbers, which kind of showed us, he was still a good quarterback, obviously, were the first couple of years he was there. Not the year he went to the Super Bowl. The year he went to the Super Bowl, he was kind of nosediving a little bit on his stats, and that's when they got him to the Super Bowl, which is to me kind of interesting.
But, I mean, because they had 2 Super Bowls. The first year where they lost the Super Bowl, that was he put up ridiculous numbers. He looked phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah, season he won the Super Bowl, he looked like he was
throwing short. It was just like Peyton's tired.
he looked like he was fairly cooked at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, great that you got the second one, obviously.
Yep.
The year they won, it was not Peyton Manning and the team; it was Von Miller and the team.
Yeah. Exactly. But he was smart play. It kept him in the games. He was never a liability. He just had a little weaker arm and stuff and things like that. So it was never like he was a liability. And it's kind of what we got out of Jim Harbaugh when he was here. Call him Captain Comeback, but he never really turned the ball over. He wasn't blowing the doors off of anything stats wise, but he brought us back into games. We were down by 14 or 20 points, and he did it by not turning the ball over and just making smart plays, not athletic ones.
Yeah.
So
and it just shows how much you need a defense as well. See, that's probably the biggest knock we have on the Napoleon years with Manning is we didn't have the defense for
No, we didn't have the defense. And the best comparison for that was really the Patriots. People were like, "Oh, the Patriots are so much better than us and everything." And no, he's a great quarterback, and I don't want to take anything away from their offense, but their defense they always had these Pro Bowlers who weren't really Pro Bowlers. They'd go to other teams and they wouldn't do good. And then, and I cannot stand Belichick. I'm not going to make that a lie. I'm not lie about that. But the guy was really good at getting defensive personnel and having a really good defensive scheme on his team where he would maximize the potential of his players. And they always had a really good defense. And that was always why we struggled, I think, to keep up with them. I mean, I remember one night we played there with Peyton, and they were jamming Marvin Harrison and they were jamming Reggie Wayne, everything in the line, all this contact. That was their game plan. They weren't going to free us up at all the whole game. They walked the line as close as they could to getting a holding call, and never got it hardly at all. And it was just a brilliant game plan. I always thought that was the best way to beat the Colts. Force us into a one-dimensional game. But yeah, having a big defense is such a big part of it. You can't win without having. Everyone's like, "Oh, you get defense wins championships." Well, defense and offense do, but you got to have both pieces to get to that level, I think.
Yeah, and even the Chiefs with Mahomes, obviously.
Yeah,
Mahomes, but Spagnuolo's had a great defense there. So.
Yeah, he's a good defensive mind.
When you just talked about Shane Steichen, Sam, I was just wondering something else. How do we feel about Shane Steichen right now? I mean, in the off season, I would say the most of the Colts fans didn't want to go with Shane Steichen into the new season.
Yep.
But right now.
This is like year one's Shane Steichen again. This is like we've
what he had creative again.
Yeah.
And very different.
Well, I think that's. I mean, and obviously, I'll say it. Like I wanted AR to start the season. We all kind of said similar things, like the future, find out what we've got.
Yeah.
But he obviously just doesn't, and maybe he can. Who knows? Probably we may never find out. But he just isn't fitting into what Shane Steichen can call. Because I mean, you look back at Gardner Minshew, and we're what a fourth down throw / drop away from the playoffs with Minshew.
Yeah.
At quarterback.
Yep.
And now, and we've gone back, like Steichen's gone back to what he was calling then. You know, it's not deep play. It's not deep passes every play. Like
high percentage stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I think he coached to his quarterback skill set, which is why I think he's a good coach. First of all, I think everyone here is going to disagree with something any coach does everywhere because we're football fans, and that's all we do is argue about play by play, well, who called that play and who drew that one up. So that's just what we do as football fans. But I think if you look at the way that Steichen likes to call the plays for his players, he's pretty good at that. And I think having the quarterback is only making him look better because he can do the things he needs to do. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, granted, he's been hurt, but he's always been there. And our offensive line has not made huge changes. And our receiving core is almost the same. And we had terrible numbers, and we're looking bad. We're looking rid of getting rid of Steichen. Everybody's soured on him. By just changing the quarterback, that makes all that difference. Yeah, I mean, because the quarterback is the key to everything. So I think that you gotta, whenever you're critical of sometimes, you know, the management and the coaches and things, you got to keep in mind that you got to have a quarterback in this league to win, and it's the hardest position to get right. Mm-hmm. So I think that getting things going with Daniel Jones is kind of showing what people we do have. Our true colors a little bit more, but yeah, I don't think, you know. We'll see. I think I like Shane Steichen. I always thought Gardner Minshew was just the best example you can give because he really called the plays around him. He kind of kept Wentz's arm out of, you know, he didn't when Frank was coaching, he did not keep Wentz's arm out of the game as he probably should have sometimes. He gave him Carson Wentz too much leeway, which I think was a bad thing. And I think that's probably, you know, the beginning of his demise because he showed, one, that he wanted the quarterback here and the quarterback wasn't that good, but two, he wasn't that good of a quarterback to make the right reads. He was throwing into double coverage all the time and making bad decisions. And for your coach not to identify that was probably a contrast to what we have in Steichen. I think Steichen seems to find the strengths of our quarterbacks a little bit better.
Yeah, for me, with Steichen, I need to say, with the press, there he is worst. Sorry, that is still the press conference. No, there's no. Don't go to this point. Tell everyone, not yourself. So, and at the game, he has a plan. He's really good with his offense. Yeah. Last year, you have in the first year you saw Minshew. He can play his offense, but he's too short for the O-line. Sorry, there's a wall, and he never saw what is going on. So then we have a year with Flacco, a whole pocket quarterback. That is not his offense. No working. Nope. Anthony Richardson, the same problem. He is a scrambler with some abilities for deep passes. That is not Steichen's offense. Both quarterbacks not in this offense possible. Sorry. And then Daniel Jones. He is perfect in this offense. He plays like Jalen Hurts. That is the kind of quarterback Shane Steichen needs. So if you talk about him, you need to think, is the head coach the game manager and told what we're playing, or is the quarterback the point of position? So I remember Andreas and me, we talked a few weeks ago. Andreas told, no, the coach has to build a team around his quarterback. So I tell, this is one is to see that. I say, if you see Steichen, he needs his team for his own offense. He can't build it for Anthony Richardson or Flacco.
No.
It isn't possible. He only can use one kind of quarterback. Then he plays really good. It's the same like Bill Belichick. The whole time with Brady, the same offense was working. Then all new quarterbacks, play like Tom Brady. Holy shit, I'm not Tom Brady. I can run. And Bill Belichick was confused. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I mean, but by your logic, and this is fun arguing with you again. We always like to fun arguing. But to that argument though, then why was Minshew? Minshew's not by any stretch of imagination the same style of quarterback that Daniel Jones is, in my opinion. He's a scrambler. Daniel Jones will sit back and pick you apart a little bit better. Minshew had to scramble, and he was always doing creative things, running for his life. I think he was the best, ad hoc situation kind of quarterback. Where I think
But what I mean is the difference. Minshew is more scrambler than Jones is, right?
Yeah.
But the same way, short and middle route passes are really good.
Yeah.
So and much movement in the pocket. So and that is what I mean, and that is the play style Steichen needs. So
I don't know, man, because you've been watching Alex Pierce though.
With deep passes. So
Alex Pierce has been getting some deep balls though, dude.
Yeah, he can. So it is really amazing. But the most passes are short and middle route passes.
Yeah.
So that is what I mean. Steichen plays with a stable book, and then you have some big plays in it. So for Anthony Richardson, you need to hold time big plays. Because middle routes, okay, and deep pass, really good. If he throws on Pierce, it looks really great.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. And Minshew was the guy, middle and short routes was perfect, and he can stay in the pocket and bring pocket time longer because he's mobile. So that is what I mean.
Like extend the plays, right?
So this the kind what I mean is, you have little difference, but you know, Anthony Richardson is more like Cam Newton, really mobile, more running, more throwing deep, more big plays. So and Minshew is a scrambler, yes, but with pocket times. So that is not the Anthony Richardson. And Joe Flacco or Tom Brady, is like a stone. There's no movement.
I mean, it's just the style of game. Yep. I mean, I would agree with that.
My argument on that point was, if you draft a young quarterback and on 4 at 4th overall and let him play immediately, you have to build an offense who is comfortable for him, and not make him playing your playbook for just for any reason. No matter what. That what I still have as an argument against Shane Steichen, because he probably is the wrong coach for Anthony Richardson, but is the one we have to leave the young quarterback or the coach if it just don't fit.
My biggest problem with what his play calling for Anthony Richardson was he just called way too many draw plays. And once he started getting hurt like that, I was at that Houston game when he got hurt the first time. It's like, it's, a draw play. I'm like, you're the most running quarterbacks in the league. You can only do it so much. Once they start stacking the box and they spy him, it's like, okay, you can be a good running quarterback, but you're not going to outrun, a really talented middle linebacker that's spying you. You know what I mean? He's gonna be able to contain you. Very few quarterbacks are going to elude that every time. And so you're going to get hurt. I mean, it happens. There's quarterbacks that avoid it. Jackson last night looked really good, and he didn't get hit. But it's just typical that any running quarterback is going to be susceptible to that a little bit. And once we found out that his stamina, I don't think is as great. He's a bigger body than most quarterbacks, but that doesn't necessarily mean he can take a hit better. Mm-hmm. And I think that Shane Steichen never kind of drifted away from running him up the middle and draw plays. I mean, I don't mind running him to the sideline or running him when he's got someone in front of him, but running between the tackles for a quarterback is you're guaranteed you're going to take a hit no matter what, and it can be a really bad hit. And I was never a fan of that. But keep in mind too, I think the initial talks, and this is probably something we just learned now because I just learned a couple days ago, but the initial plan was they were going to bench him for a little while apparently, and I wanted to get him out there. I was like Irsay, I wanted to put him out there. Because to me, it's like, I remember watching Peyton Manning when we started him. It was like, oh, he had such a horrible season. They shouldn't have started him. And I'm like, yeah, but he learned. And so, but Richardson, I think, is a little more green than any other quarterback we've ever had here because he's only had one season, barely over a season in college, which is pretty much a low. And he's so young, right? So he can still learn it. But yeah, I think again, I was wrong about that. So I stand correct that we probably shouldn't have started him. But I don't think Steichen or our GM wanted to put him out there to the Wolves. I thought they did. I was wrong. So, but yeah, I think that played into a little bit as far as But I did not like him calling those draw plays. Man, every time he take off in the middle, I was just wincing. I was like, oh, not again. I'd like get up, waiting for him to get up after each play. It's just it's too much. We have so much vested in them too. You know what I mean? So it's just.
I mean, the hit in the Rams game that put him out for the season wasn't like a crazy hit.
No. I mean, it was playing football.
Suggests that his body maybe just isn't built
Yeah, he's got such a cannon for an arm too. It seemed like we were never working on developing that. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy we saw, my wife and I went to the combine when he was there, and that first bomb that he threw, we were just dumbfounded. It was like 70 yards or something, and he had by far the best arm of anybody.
Yeah.
We were just floored. We're just like, oh my! And I'm like, at the very least, you've got that part of his game. I'm not saying to turn him into a full pocket passer, but it just seems like we didn't encourage that much development with the passing game, as we probably should have. And I think they're probably working on that now. So we'll see what we get.
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about next Sunday? We're going to win in LA. What do you guys think?
I'm always going to say we're going to win. You guys know that. As biased as they get. For me, when I pick games and I watch us, I win. It's like if it's a really good team we're playing, I'm just less down on us losing. But I always pick us to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the travel is hard. It's going to be a rough game. But this is a more balanced team than we faced before, as far as on both sides of the ball. I think.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get after Stafford, and that's kind of the thing we need to do. Like, kind of like what Sam said. I totally agree. If you let him sit back there and give him any time, he's going to pick you apart just because he knows that he knows the game so much better than most quarterbacks.
Yeah, I like 31-29 Colts. I think it's going to come down to field goal.
I think you're right. It's going to be another nail. It's going to be like the Denver game, I think. Mm-hmm. And again, I hope it's an offensive game because that'll play into our favor.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. The cardiac Colts.
Do what?
I said the cardiac Colts will be back.
Sunday. Oh yeah. Yep. Cardiac Colts, comeback Colts. Yeah.
These 3-score wins are just they don't feel right. It's not fun.
The Denver one was hard to watch. I haven't been going to the games this year because I've had health issues and other things going on. So but usually with those games, I'm just like sitting on my seat, head in lap. I can't watch that Super Bowl game, the AFC Championship game. When we went to the Super Bowl the first time, we were just getting blown out, and I just was curled up in a fetal position in my seat. Couldn't even watch the game. I'm a terrible person when I think I bring the team bad luck and things like that. So I don't watch, and it's especially because of the cardio Colts. All those years with Harbaugh and those other quarterbacks, it was just tough because we were playing from behind, and so it's just really hard to watch. And we pulled it out all the time, but it was just in the meantime I was suffering.
What do you think Sunday, Christoph?
It's a close game, so I don't know. I think Rams are winning this game because the D line is too strong, and
that's a good deal.
That is for me a really close game, but 24-23 for the Rams.
Probably the Rams are the best team we are going to play so far this season. We should have lost that one against Denver if they wouldn't be that stupid as they are. But right now we are traveling with 3-0. So we have a momentum.
Yeah.
So I hope we can beat them in a pretty close game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 24-21. I think we're gonna win, but it's not gonna be anything to write. Maybe even lower score. I have us by 3, but it could be even a lower scoring game. So it could be like 21-18 or something. It could be something. It's gonna be a lower scoring game this time. But because of their defensive line, I think they're gonna be stacking the box on JT. They're watching the same highlights we are, and they're seeing what he can do. So they're gonna be stacking the box and coming up with different assignment schemes where they're faking coverage and actually covering him. So I think he's gonna have a rougher game this time.
They did that to Saquon, didn't they?
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly how they played him. Yeah. So they wanted to stop, and that's a Bill Belichick thing too. Stop the best player on their team, or the biggest threat on their team that doesn't match up with your team, and take that out of the game and then go from there. And that's I think what they're going to try to do. So, but with the way we're throwing the ball, that's why I'm confident we're still going to win. I just don't think it's going to be as high scoring game as we're used to.
So we're optimistic for Sunday. I think we are done for the day.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for watching always
Yep.
7th episode. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike, for being with
Yep.
us.
Anytime, man.
Kleinen
Really
Schwanz.
happy to see you again. Thank you. And everyone having a good night.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
And cheers.